I think even when you go through something on such a big public stage, it's also a reminder to me for people who go through trauma privately, of this thing of like something we don't talk about enough is how the switch doesn't go off one day. You're not quote unquote over your trauma. It's always sort of there. My therapist is a trauma psychiatrist and, has just worked so hard with me to accept that, the number of times where it's like, I'm here again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how is that possible? How I thought I had done better. I thought I was fixed from this, or have this emotional experience, whatever those things are. And I don't want to say benefit because there's not a benefit to the kinds of experiences we've had. If you had to say there's a benefit, there's like, by talking about these things publicly, I imagine you hear this too. I hear from people that it's helped them feel less alone.
Yes.
Even when the, puzzle pieces look completely different, it's still a puzzle of trauma. And so I think there is that value. And I don't know about for you, for me, it's sometimes that's like a life raft for me, because there are a lot of times that I get really scared about going out and doing something. Or I get scared of failing. I get scared of losing everything. I get scared of a misstep.
And rightfully so, I think, because stories like ours show that everything can be taken away from you. And whether or not you do something right or wrong, even like that's how powerless we are. And I agree with you. I think one thing that I have found to be deeply healing for me is learning that what I went through resonates with people who have not been through what I went through, but have been through their own thing.
Yeah.
I do think, and something that what you just were talking about actually reminded me of an essay I just put out on my Substack about recognizing the difference between discomfort and danger, and how
that's really interesting.
And one of the consequences of going through a trauma is not only do you feel like you can't trust the world anymore, but you also feel like you can't trust yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And you become sort of like psychologically colorblind, so that like red flags blur into green and you can't tell the difference.
You kind of gaslight yourself.
You gaslight yourself because you've been gaslit, and like you don't know what to lean on anymore. And so I think that one of the things that also is beneficial about telling these stories is talking about, okay, so here's the traumatic thing that happened, but now here's how I rediscover my inner compass. Here's how I rediscover how to tell the difference between something that is genuinely dangerous that I should move away from, and here is something that is uncomfortable, but that I should move towards because it has the potential to change me for the better. So what can break me? What can make me grow?